Hello and welcome to another weekly installment of the market commentary for the Russell Futures, proudly brought to you by icecommentary.com and Trade with Precision. It's been a good week on the index markets. We've had a nice bullish continuation to the theme of 2012, and this week we've had a slew of economic announcements for companies. So it really has been a news intense week. Now this is the final week in January. Next week we'll have non-farm payroll, so it's going to be quite an interesting week again coming up. So let's see where we are and where we can expect to be. Just looking at the weekly volume on the Russell, it's been an average week. Okay, we had just over 600,000 contracts traded, so it's there and thereabouts. It's pretty good, to be honest with you. It's our highest volume of 2012 so far, which is it's starting to say that the year is starting to warm up and we're starting to get going. Okay, 600,000. It's pretty much it's good volume. It's solid volume. We've run up into the 800 level on price. You can see that support and resistance structure through there. The big number, it's gonna stand in a way. It's gonna be a resistance, and what we really want to see is bullishness in the face of this level. And you can see that we've pretty much had that. This weekly candlestick, we've gotten right up to the resistance, and we've closed pretty much near it. So, and I think we just missed it by about 1.2 points. Which is very, very close. So this level we're at it now. We want to see exactly what happens. Okay. So moving on to looking at the actual daily charts for the Russell and see what happened during the week. Let's just have a quick zoom in here so we can actually see what happened. Now, my plan for the week was not to buy extension, but to wait for a pullback. And you know what, we got that. We pretty much gapped down ever so slightly. We pulled back during Monday, Tuesday, and then that's where the rally occurred. And like I say, we've got just up to that big number, and we're there at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens at this level. But we've got a lot of bullishness in the marketplace, and I would have to say that as a trader, I'm continuing on with all these trends. All the trends are bullish. They're uptrends, and I'm continuing to trade along with them. Okay, let's have a look at some of the other markets before I should tell you my plan for the week. We'll start off with the S&P. Now, let's start off on the only negative I've got for the bull side, and that is the fact that this last week, yes, we had a positive week, but it was a gain of 0.1%. So ever so slight gain on the week. But it is the third or fourth straight gain that we've had. Okay, so no, it's the fourth straight gain we've had. So it's been a very strong move up. However, we are starting to get a little bit extended from our moving averages. Also, we've had this very, you would have to say, indecisive candlestick form right at these highs, and that is something that as a trader you would definitely start to heed and say, okay, fine, we've got a bit of indecision, we're extended. Most likely thing to occur would be some kind of a pullback before a breakup and an assault on these overhead resistance levels of 1350. Okay, so you definitely anticipate some kind of a pullback, but then again, it's only one indecisive candlestick. It's only one ingredient. I don't make all my decisions just based on one decision. I try to build my trade decisions. So here we've got one negative standing in my bullish, in the way of my bullish outlook. Okay, so let's see how that stands with respect to the daily. Now the daily, I'd have to say, is looking pretty good. The reason why I say that is just because how we've just been bouncing off these moving averages. We've just been making new highs, and a continuation would be the most likely thing to occur. We've got convergence with MACD and RSI, so those are all looking pretty good. I'd have to say I really do like Friday's candlestick. Very small little candle right on top of this buy zone, so generally that's a nice little precursor for a good move up. There is a potential there. If that doesn't hold, however, yeah, we've got the 1300, big number. We could come back into the depths of this buy zone, and then have a nice little strong move from there. So I would have to say that I am definitely bullish. I'm definitely looking for a continuation up. The weekly is slightly starting to show bearish undertones with that indecision up at those highs. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays itself out this week. Let's have a look at the NAS. Again, the weekly chart. You'll see this week we've gotten above the decade highs and we've closed. So yep, we've got there. We've been very, very strong, and it's looking pretty good. I must admit the trend on this time frame does not look great to me. It really doesn't. We've had a very strong move up. extended from the moving averages. We've closed above a quite a psychological level. There just seems to be a lot of emotions in this chart for me, so I'm a bit wary about it. What I'd like to see is some kind of a pullback and then a proper strong assault on these overhead levels. That's what I'd like to trade. But you don't always, as a trader, you don't always get what you want. On the daily chart, it looks a bit better, to be honest with you, because you can see how the trend's played itself out. It's pulling back into this buy zone before the next move up. So it's looking like a continuation. Again, we've got convergence with price making higher highs, high lows. If that doesn't work, I mean, if we do get a pullback, you can see the 2400 level. There is some resistance back there that could pretty much act as support. So if we get a pullback to it, it could be a nice little place for a bit of bullishness or a bit of buying to come in. If we start to sell off during next week. Okay, what I'm always looking at is both scenarios. What happens if we start to get a bit of bearishness in the beginning of the week? How would it play itself out? What will I do? And then plan it accordingly. So what is my plan for this week? Well, more of the same. I'm looking for a continuation. I'm looking for us to continue to push higher. Let's look at the daily chart. We have to get through this 800 level, folks. We do need to get through it. I've showed you how it's played as support and resistance in the past, and I'd anticipate it to do the same. And the fact that we've got there on Thursday, and we started to sell off a little bit, it shows that there is some trading action going on around that level. So if this week, if we don't really assault it strongly, what I would like to see is some kind of we've got a pullback into moving averages before a strong move up. We've got some good levels to pull back into. We can pull back into the moving averages, or if we go through that, we've got the 760 level, which is a zone of support. Okay, look at all this old resistance back here. So if we get back to it, you'd expect it to act as support. Let me just show you the 760 level over time. The 760 level is probably the strongest support and resistance structure we've got at the moment. It's probably even stronger than 800, just because of how well price has interacted with it in the past. This is a really, really strong level, 760. So any real bearishness in the marketplace, I would anticipate some strong buying coming in at 760. So that's pretty much my protection for my bullishness. So we get back to 760, I'll be definitely very, very bullish down there as well. So it's more of the same this week, Captain. Just looking for places to buy the trend. Alright folks, that's a wrap for this market commentary. Hopefully you found this useful and trade well next week. Remember, non-farm payrolls on Friday, so there's going to be a big news week. There could be some big moves, so keep it safe out there. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.